His jokes are sometimes crude and sometimes ass. With his wife
Testing, 1, 2, testing. I'm a sexy beast.
There we go. Okay, so hopefully we have audio from both sides, but I will have to check myself because. There we go. Okay, so hopefully we have. I hear myself. Sides, but
Che pezzone, amigo. Can you hear me? Pezzone.
There we go. I can hear you. All right. This is the Marathon Podcast. We usually do this on a Friday at 5 o'clock at a time. But one of us got lost of time and another one got sick. Yeah! So...
And between the two, we just completely forgot until it was too late.
It. But yeah, I happy holidays. Hope you're well, technically, okay, I might have asked this before. What do y'all do for Christmas? Since y'all don't really do Christmas for any religious reasoning outside scope. Like, what do y'all actually do for that day?
What we do... So, we don't... It's... First off, I'm gonna start like this. It is not that we have anything against people celebrating Christmas. I grew up celebrating. I, frankly, don't care whether you do it during Christmas or whatever. But for me, the idea of Christmas is about getting together and showing your appreciation to family and friends and spending time together and giving some gifts and stuff like that, right?
Yes.
I grew up and was even a deacon at one point in church.
You retire that.
My problem with doing Christmas for the reason that most people do it is because that's not actually when he was born.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Technically, if history was a show, according to what I've heard, you correct me on this one, I've heard that if Jesus was actually born, it'd be closer to Easter, and the day he died will actually be closer to Christmas. According to, like, the time of winters
so
and
I can't speak to the part of him dying, but I can speak to the part of him being born, because that's the part I remember.
Yeah. It
was more towards middle of the year or so than it was the end of the year.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not going to go into as to why people started adopting it like they did. To each is their own. You guys, I don't care. As long as you love each other, you share each other, you appreciate each other, and you show each other that, you know, you love each other.
Yeah. I think Christmas and for a lot of people, which, you know, again, I'm not going to a religious standpoint of here, but seeing that have a lot of nations have adopted Christmas into their own culture, like Japan, it's almost its own thing now. Like, there is a connection point to it. Like,
Rex has correctly joined the channel.
Everywhere but here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah, we still tie it to Christianity.
Especially in the South.
Well, then we got the original, which was pagan, right?
Right. Christmas the day we celebrate Christmas now was originally a pagan holiday. Yes. The church adopted that.
Yes.
Anyway, that's besides the point. The point is what we do on Christmas, because we do something that we like to call Friendsmas instead. And the reason we do that is because after my grandparents passed away, me and Stealthy had a conversation, and it only made sense with certain feelings about it, along with the fact that with the grandparents not there, it was really hard to get everybody to be in one place.
Yes, it's usually how it goes.
We decided to do something called Friendsmas, which allows us to have a few more days to get ready for it.
Yeah.
And so you can, and we don't limit it to just being family, as you well know.
I would say it's like the immediate family. Family is not the ones you're always born with, but the ones you made along the way. as that's the saying goes.
Absolutely. So, like, I mean, I'll be frank. I'll be frank. I have a brother, but if I had to say who my brother is, I'm looking at. Okay, if you get my point.
Yeah. Say we appreciate.
You have been more of a brother to me in the past few years than my actual brother has been my entire life, and that's no. I wouldn't say that's necessarily a fault of his. It's a fault of circumstances.
Yeah.
But the all things aside, that's just how it is. It's the feeling that I have, and that's the way I feel. It's just like I have a cousin that's 8 years older than me, who's also more of a brother than he ever was to me. So my point is that I look at family and friends differently. Okay, like you and Jamie, or you and Loving One might have started as friends, but y'all aren't friends anymore. Y'all are family.
More than that.
100% family. You know damn well I might not be the richest man in the world, but if you called me and it was something that absolutely you needed me to be there, my ass would be on my way.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it. 6 hours, 6.5 hours, it don't make a fuck to me. My point is that family is people that you'll do stuff like that for. You know, where you have that feeling that if they called you, that it didn't matter what would be going on in your life, you would find a way to get it.
I will say though, like I've noticed that I've gone through several other, friends and my personal family and my wife's family. It's something about when the grandparents pass away, and I don't know if it was just if it's a sign of the time or the sign of our what we have lost. But something about when grandparents pass away, family meetings like Christmas, Thanksgiving, they seem like the
family reunions, all that it just died.
Vanish.
Well, I think honestly, I don't even think it's our generation that's the cause of it. I think it's the generation between us and them. Because think about it. I didn't make the decision. My cousins didn't make the decision to not have this get together anymore.
Yeah.
Our parents did. Our parents decided that without our grandparents, it was too much trouble to do. And I feel like, in a way, that's a cop-out. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
I 100% will tell you. I'll put it like this: even my wife showed up for Thanksgiving and Christmas when my grandparents were alive.
Oh yeah. Do
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know the background on that, so
that's why
you understand.
That's a big
deal.
You
understand how big a deal that is. And I just it kind of hurts because we tried for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And it's just always somebody had some kind of excuse, or it's like the whole fucking family fell apart, dude. They just fell apart. Nobody wants to talk to anybody. Nobody calls anybody anymore. I mean, there was a time when my grandparents were alive that I can tell you, and this is me personally, I can't speak for the rest of them, but I would wake up in the morning, and one of the things I would think about riding through the day is, hey, I might need to call my uncle and see if he needs help with this, or might need to call my cousin and see if he needs help with that car. I wonder if my aunt got all the stuff out of her flooded house, where the river run over.
Yeah.
I don't think that shit anymore because we don't ever see each other anymore.
Yeah. See,
and it's not me that stopped doing it first.
Mm-hmm. See, my mom texted my wife, called my wife. She tells me about it. I'll call her almost immediately or within the next minute. If my brothers, any of my brothers, one of them, they're about almost as bad as pulling teeth, get in contact with them. But if they text me, I'm responding. I'm responding within the minutes.
I'm the same way. I've got sisters, as you know. Two of them are in Maine. They very rarely call me, and I very rarely call them. But you can bet if their name pops up on my phone, I will answer that bitch and walk out the back door of work just to see what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Because That's just I love my sister.
Yeah.
My
It's
brother's
one
a
thing.
different story.
It's one thing if you all move to different states, which, admittedly, my family, the majority of them, are in 2 different states. One is in Texas, one in like North Carolina or South Carolina, one of the two. I can't very much go visit both of them for obvious reasons, right? And getting together has been one thing, but it's Christmas time. Didn't hear anything from them. Not that I don't think they don't love me or they don't care about me, but I didn't hear a thing from them. Not a single thing.
Right.
But my mom, she said the day before she was contacting me. I'm like, okay, bet. I waited. I waited because I didn't know what she was doing, so I waited for her to contact me. She contacted me while I was cooking. As soon as I was done, after I saw that she called, I called her back. But if she didn't say, "Hey, Grumpy Bear, let me give me a call tomorrow," or said anything, I would still have done it because that's my mom, right? I still love her.
Right.
But
and it's like that with it's like that with my mom. I don't talk to my mom every day, but you can bet during the holidays, I'm gonna call her.
But my
I'm
wife,
gonna check on her.
She's on the other hand, she's like every other day talking to her mom. Every other day. Now, admittedly, I don't have the greatest rapport with her family, and none of her family blames me for not having a great rapport with them. And it's all self-inflicted. I don't want to deal with it. But every time they call, I get a little anxious. I get a little like, God, what's going to be now? What's going to be now? What's going to be?
What the fuck is going to happen now?
Yeah,
Yes,
so,
I have that rapport with a specific member of my wife's family.
Yeah, so I don't bug with them, but they're still tight knit. But the moment the grandma died, which I love the grandma, she reminded me of like my grandma. She was a great woman. She had little old ways, little old think, right? She wasn't racist. Anybody wants to put it out there? She was not, but she definitely had that old kind of grandma kind of vibe, and I was digging her. The moment she died, family just went. When it comes to any kind of like gathering or get-togethers, I'm like, that's almost sad.
I mean, and see, for us, it was like my grandma went first, and that really broke a lot of shit. But my grandpa kept some things together. But when Granddad died, everybody's just like, fuck it. Everybody went they scattered to the 4 corners of the earth, and nobody fucking talks to anybody.
Yeah.
And I would say part of that is probably I have low tolerance for people that do not respect my wife.
Understandable.
Okay? And that's on both sides. Okay? I would say my uncle loves my wife. He truly does. Yeah. My grandfather and grandmother love my wife. My cousin obviously loves her because he can't help but fuck with her every time he sees her at work.
That's how you know you love somebody.
But there are a lot of other members of my family that they don't treat her bad, but they don't treat her good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have low tolerance for that shit. So you know me well enough by now. I'm one of those people. I assume not deal with that kind of stupid shit because if I'm standing face to face with it, somebody's face is going to be in the dirt. Okay. So I try to avoid that shit because it just makes less ripples in the family. Because my family kind of worked kind of weird. We literally were old school enough that we still had family meetings and conversations and discussions about things going on in the family and who was treating who what kind of way. And if you didn't abide by certain rules, your ass got in certain. It was a big thing. Okay.
Yeah.
And I know that even though most everybody is scattered to the 4 winds, one of the few things that would draw everybody back together and align everybody against somebody would be fucking with the family dynamic.
Okay. And grandma and
so
grandpa kept that shit in line.
Yeah, I assume I would just assume not be the cause of that. And on the other side, when it comes to my wife's family, I love everybody in her family but 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
And those are 2 of the biggest assholes I've ever met in my life. And I do my best to try to not interact with them, because I don't know when I'm going to have had enough, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And for all the people in her family that I truly adore, I don't want to cause those kind of ripples.
Yeah, I don't like conflict. But if I had to say a few words.
So we try to do our best to not do that. When I say all that to say, the reason we do Friendsmas is because for us, a lot of our truly beloved family is actually friends.
Yeah.
Okay. You and Loving One, Dazzling. Hell, I would even say that at this point, Clouder and Sea Dragon has fallen into that. All you guys are family.
Yeah, I can't wait for Clouder to get his little gift.
I'm not gonna tolerate that shit. Oh yeah, we need to talk about that off stream because I might have went a little overboard.
But yeah, for me, I don't dislike her family. I have like maybe 1, maybe 2. I used to like all of them, but over the years, I started slowly picking up at every single one of them. And you ever warned people before and they didn't listen to you, and that thing happened? Yep. That was that kind of people.
Yep.
And I can't deal with that kind of people.
Yep.
I cannot.
So back to your original question, what we do on those days is that's our wrap and prep days. Because we're off, right? We're off. Yeah. So we wrap everything we've got and prep everything we've got at that moment. And I'm going to tell you that me and Stealthy are very much those fuckers that we start buying all throughout the year. Then the day we start wrapping, we're like, why the fuck did we buy all this? And then after we wrap, we do some stupid shit like go, for a tattoo consultation and walk through a store, be like, oh, look, we need to add this. Pop. Now I got to go home and wrap that, I mean, that happened today, right here. You see this right here?
Yeah.
This is a Grumpy Bear present, right here.
Nice.
I walked around and Stealthy pointed this out to me today, and the moment I seen it, I was like, I gotta get that.
Not gonna lie, I thought that when we were out, I'm like, that's Corvo, that's Stealthy. Yep. Yeah,
dude, we do that shit all the time with y'all when we're walking through the store. If I bought half the shit that I seen, that's obviously a Loving One thing. Oh, Grumpy would love that. If I did that shit, you would need more cases. A lot more.
But I just like a quick thing, like Michael, if everybody's remember that name, Michael Grill, he was like one of the closest family members I had in my life. And not saying you have not met that requirement of standing, but like he would be, I always saw him as my brother, even though he was never a part of my family. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We've had most everything. Quick question. Stealthy's favorite Zelda game was Twilight Princess, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, just making sure. We're just making sure we have everything correctly, because Stealthy's aloof. I know you're probably watching this, Stealthy. You're so tricky to buy for when you don't tell people what you like, and you do it on purpose, and we know it. So finding out things you like is a bit of a tricky little thing. So yeah, but we got that settled. We're looking forward to it to be somewhere in there. It be like our Christmas and birthday. It's something that's always, we both shared before. It's really hard to have Christmas and then right afterwards your birthday, even though it's like technically 25th to the 20th. It's about a month's time, or a little less, but it's like, it's not very much time for somebody to go and buy one thing and then afterwards going, shoot. But it's also a good way to find out, like, okay, we couldn't get them that for Christmas, but we can manage it for like
Said.
30 more days we can maybe buy
IP.
Right.
it.
Right. It's kind of like that thing that I was telling you. So, that's kind of what happened with the consultation
What's
today.
up? It's me.
Like, she knew she wasn't gonna be able to pull that off by Friendsmas, but the moment she heard, wait, 2 sessions and it's like 400 less overall than what I planned. Oh, big.
So
You know,
yeah, but you see, my wife, she did get herself a Christmas gift, and it's kind of like
I
unconventional.
gotta
Like,
tell you about Stealthy.
yeah, it's unconventional. She used to have snake bites. Do you know what snake bites are? Just a quick question here, just to gauge it.
Actual snake bites or the mark?
Well, technically, no, both of them. So snake bites are 2 piercings on either side of your lips,
Oh yeah.
and they go either over your lips or little dots. She used to have one, but the problem is she used to have one on one side. They used to grind her teeth like crazy because of the place they put it. So she bought herself for her Christmas some snake bites. One of them is infected now, so she's having fun dealing with that. But the funny part is, little okay, everybody here is, I don't know how young everybody is here. It's just a little FYI. If you're underneath the age of 18, close your ears. So the guy was going through the list of things that she can't do. She can't have dairy. She can't have spicy food. She can't she has to like gargle, like, you know, wash her mouth out twice a day. And he said, you know, there's a system like 3 feet away from me, sitting in a chair. She's getting her ears pierced later on. And then he pops that, and no oral sex. And as soon as he said that, she went, "Did you just say no oral sex?" I turned to her and went, "Yep." Because she was like, "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I should be getting nosy. I was just kind of curious what kind of piercing she got." She's like, she got 2 piercings on her lip. So yeah, no oral sex. I'm fucked.
No, you're not.
So yeah, like
So-
it's just, she got her 2 piercings on her lips, and you're gonna be getting, possibly for you, tattoos.
The tattoo.
The
We want to
tattoo.
finish this sleeve.
So are you gonna be
The
filling in
tattoo.
holes, or are you just gonna be filling in space?
Okay, so this is done.
yeah.
This is all done. Okay, this is gonna finish all of this.
And what is the general theme?
A raven.
A raven theme. Okay, so
Yeah.
Celtic.
So, hang on, and I'm gonna send it to your phone
Nordic.
so you can see it. I'll send it to your phone so you can see it.
Okay.
Um,
Because I know that like the
because
tree of
I get-
life. That's. Is that Nordic?
it's Celtic.
That's
and
Celtic. Okay,
ravens-
sorry.
Yeah. So Tree of Life with the Celtic knot in it is on my forearm, and then I'm gonna tie that in with some ravens, and I'm gonna send this to you, and then I'm gonna describe. There's some changes that are gonna be made to it. Okay.
Okay.
So
See, like me, I wouldn't mind having one day a total sleeve of like all my favorite anime characters. But the one character I want to go into my hand is Piccolo.
yes,
I want him to be like stretching out his hand, and his hand is Piccolo's hand. So if I do the
So
special
I'm
beam
gonna-
cannon, I'm doing special beam cannon as Piccolo. It's like everything
Yeah.
else would be like characters I like, but Piccolo would be like the main one going into my hand. That would be
Right,
absolutely sick
so-
to have an anime arm like that.
so
But I'm hairy, so
I'll tell you. I sent that to you, but I'll
Okay.
tell you a funny little story about my consultation today. So I go in and I sit down and
I've
I'm
seen this
talking
before.
with her, and she's like, what are we doing? You know, and I was telling her. Oh, she's like, yeah. She said, do you happen to have the reference on your phone, because I don't have it on my tablet right now. I know you sent it to me in email, but I don't have it up.
okay.
So I pull it up on my phone, and I have that nice big open phone now, so we could really see it. And when you're looking at it, you'll see that here, I'll see if I can know if I have it on the computer. If I do, I'll share it, so maybe it'll pop up or we can move it around. But when you're looking at it, you'll see it has some flowers and some little twigs and stuff off of it. We're gonna probably drop the flowers and the twigs because it's gonna be covering something up. So because it's covering something up, you want to go a little more simple, but with high definition. You know what I mean? To really make the other stuff disappear. So there's going to be a little bit of change to it, but the idea is you see that raven has a purple eye, and it's a kind of a big raven chest up type thing. It has some smaller ravens at the bottom, and it has a little skull. We're still going to do the smaller ravens coming off of the moon ring here above the tree, coming up to where the skull and the raven is, wrapping around, and then you're going to have the raven and the skull.
Like, what do you...
So that's going to finish up that arm. And I've decided that because one of the things it's covering up is where my oldest's name is, we're going to move his name to the inside here. Right in here. And do it in more like a Celtic type script. So let's where would that be at? Pictures maybe?
Said. Hello silly it's
So you've been looking at this image for a while now. You've been contemplating how you're going to change it and adjust it.
Yes.
So while you're looking this up, I know my wife, she wants to do a Studio Ghibli arm. At least a half sleeve one at some point. We still want to do Gio's paw print, but we got to get his ashes turned into ink. But she wants to do like Totoro, Spirit Away, some spirit imps from where they're from, Princess Mononoke, and some soot sprites. That's what she wants to do, which kind of reminds me of your little raven, skull and tree branches, kind of like the whole vibe. But you're gonna make some adjustments to it, and you're saying what, like around $800 for all this, and it's gonna be black and white or colored?
Yes, it's gonna be black and gray with the purple for the eye.
You're not gonna change the color of the purple eye?
No.
No?
I'm keeping the eye purple because that is the only part of it that I really insist on having colored. I like the purple.
Is there a significance beyond the purple?
Other than I love that shade of purple, no.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. So
and then we got
the idea is I'm gonna have that done now. She's gonna rework. There's a tattoo above that on my shoulder that you can't see right now, but it's a Celtic knot.
Okay.
That I think, if I remember right, Stealthy's the one that put it on me.
She tattooed on you?
Yeah.
She had some tattoo little experiences? Okay.
Well, little stories that you don't know. I actually own 2 tattoo guns and an entire kit.
Okay. And never decided to pick up and learn more of it.
Well, I ran a few tattoos. I did
said
some Attack
cheer,
on Titans
cheer.
Hey, Teddy!
my daughter.
What's up, bro?
I did Tasmanian Devil for my mom. I did a Triforce for Jasmine that glows in the dark.
Sorry. Keep it going, Teddy.
And then she did that one for me.
Okay.
But the girl's gonna rework it, make it a little bit more vibrant again.
Okay.
And then she's gonna rework the moon ring down here behind the tree, so that when she does all of it, it's all gonna look really, really good, flow really good, be all clean. And so it's gonna be nice. I'm extremely excited because I've wanted to finish this sleeve for a while. Or finish it to what I call finished. Okay.
We're talking about tattoos here. Everybody wants to get involved. We're talking about tattoos, and he's getting a full Celtic arm done for his Christmas/birthday. And he's going to get a big old raven. I know we have some people just joining in, so I'm just trying to get him catch up here. And The image right here. I'll show y'all one more time, but keep it going. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting, but we have
we're,
some people
we're
just joining
working
in.
off of that image. Like I said, we're probably going to drop the flowers because when we were talking, the flowers, if you look at them, being that they're covering up a couple of old tattoos.
Yeah.
Flowers, because they're kind of more whitish, they're not really going to cover up that well. Dark colors are needed to do cover ups.
Yeah.
And it needs to be really, really packed in there. So we're going to make the raven a little larger, which will force the skull down into an open space where it doesn't have to be over anything that's has to be covered up.
Okay.
And that'll be nice. And I get to keep my Celtic knot that Stealthy did, and it'll all be literally from my shoulder, the joint of my shoulder, all the way down to done.
Oh, okay. See,
to the point that I want.
I wouldn't mind have two tattoos on my hand. Like I said, I want like a Piccolo's hand to become my hand. But problem is, like, my wife is always telling me, like, you can't do that. I was like, why? I was like, well, because that's the one place tattoos wear off the most, because your hands are being used the most.
The trick is what you use to keep them conditioned. Okay? And I will also tell you this. This is the most painful tattoo I've gotten.
Yeah, you told me that. I remember you telling me you have never felt as much pain there before.
That I have had full calves done. I've had forearms done. I've had tattoos over joints done.
Said,
like my shoulder joints,
ISHT.
both of my shoulder joints have tattoos over the top of them. Okay? None of them hurt like that bitch did.
See, I only have 2 tattoos, but the problem is no one can ever see my second tattoo, and that's in my earlobe. Because the person did it all colors, and the colors were so faded from the beginning, you can't even tell it's a tattoo back there. But I've also had it on my back, and the only place I know where I felt the pain is when it got closer to the spine. The closer you got to the spine, the more my ass started kicking and twitching, because like just shit, like it's the spine. It should be imagined the more painful places. But I've heard people say, nah, there's far worse places to get tattooed at than your spine.
Yes, Stealthy has one in the worst places.
Mm-hmm.
Right on her ankle joint, across the top of that ankle bone. She has one. And let me tell you something.
Choices were made.
This is how I know that women are superior to men when it comes to pain tolerance.
Oh yeah, by far.
Because she sat there like it wasn't shit. She didn't even flip. Hell, she carried on conversations with me. I'll also tell you that this wasn't done with a normal tattoo gun. This shit was done with a jailhouse type tattoo gun.
Jailhouse? No, jail, like the prison jail. For a second, my brain went, jail like the goo? But no, the prison style. Okay.
Like fork, empty pin tube, cassette motor.
Why? Was this a
because
friend?
we didn't have access to the gun. We had not bought guns yet.
Oh, so this was y'all's attempt at making it your homegrown yourself.
No, we used to. I'll stop.
Okay.
When I was younger, we used to have tattoo parties, and a friend of mine lived right across the street from us.
All right.
And we would literally go. One of the guys used to be a tattoo artist, and he didn't have the money to get new guns or anything.
Okay.
So, but he loved the tattoo. So we would literally go home at night and draw up whatever the hell we wanted and go over, slap it on some transfer paper, slap it on us, and he would put it on us. It didn't cost us shit. We just sat there and took it. Now, that being said, go to a real fucking tattoo artist that has guns. Because unless you are as inebriated as we were, you will not sit for it.
Oh, that's funny. I'm sorry.
But my point is that she's a fucking machine.
Mm-hmm.
I firmly believe that if my wife ever decided that she wanted to go from toe to head with a tattoo, there would not be a part of her body that would even make her fucking twitch her eye.
Yeah, don't you be going, I gave birth, not once but twice. I gave birth, not once but twice. Like, this ain't shit. I've done this already in many more ways than you can count. But that's
right. But, so the point of that is that we went and had a conversation. She working on what she's working on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call her this upcoming Friday to book my first session. We're gonna do it in 2 sessions. She's thinking probably a 4-hour session and a 3-hour session.
Okay.
So and she looks at me. She's like, "I'd ask if you can sit for that long, but I can see your calf, and that's kind of a dumb question." She said, "I'd also ask if that's a spot that you can have them, but you already have them there and you're covering them up, so that's not needed." So, and
Yeah.
she's like, "I would say that this is probably going to be a sensitive tattoo, but your hand proves that that's not an issue."
Yeah, that's been one thing. Like, if we talked about in the past, if we ever go to Japan and we go there, we're gonna make sure that the have your body's covered up, or everybody's gonna be thinking I'm walking around with some thing. What's the Japanese mafia?
Yakuza?
Yeah, some Yakuza beside me, and everybody's been looking at us like everybody's been looking at us sideways. Like, I promise you, he's sweet. He's cuddly as a bear. Well, no, not cuddly as a bear, because you get killed by a lot of bears in Japan. Cuddly as a teddy bear. Because they see tattoos on people, and it doesn't matter where you come from, they immediately think Yakuza, and they think you're threatening, which is, okay, it's understandable. But it's same time, it's side of times.
And that's a funny segue that you just gave me, believe it or not. This is something I've ran into my entire life. So, you know what I do for a living.
Yeah.
I'm a technology guy. I'm an IT support guy.
Yeah.
But most people, when they meet me, they see this, they see this, they see all of this, they see my size.
Yeah.
And my demeanor, and they're like, "Is he redneck? Is he biker?"
Yeah, I've been thinking like biker.
What the fuck is he? Like,
what do you do for a living?
What do you do for a living? And then when I tell them, "Oh, I work with computers," and they're like, "No, boy, quit pulling my leg. What you do?" I'm like, "Bitch, that's what I do." But apparently, it in some instances, it makes my job easy.
Yeah.
Because when I walk into a cubicle and go, "Hey, I need to get on your computer for a few minutes and need to install some software," motherfuckers damn near fall over themselves to get the fuck out of my way. Which is funny, because I got to talking to somebody one day, and they had left their old company, come to work for us. And they were doing the normal thing where they were being taken around in the building, being introduced, and they bring them to the IT department to introduce them to the IT department. And I've told you this before.
Yes.
But it never really sank in as clear as it did this day, where the guy's like, "This is your IT department?" And they're like, "Yeah." He's like, "No, bullshit. Where's your real IT department?" He's like, "This is it." They're like, he's like, "These motherfuckers are bigger than security guard."
Yeah, what's okay. Then my question is, what is the ideal security IT guy? Like, it should be some scrawny, short, nerdy.
The stereotypical IT guy is going to be thin, a mama's boy, glasses, pocket protector. That's the way they see us.
Shy demeanor.
And I hate to say it, and in most places, especially after talking to this guy, that's actually what's out there doing the job. But you come to our job, and you got 235 pound people with arms the size of fucking,
tree trunks,
2-liter bottles, and long hair and tattoos and beards, and they're not always wearing glasses. Sometimes they're wearing contacts.
Yeah.
And they have shit like this on them, and they're like, I think y'all lying. I think this is like some undercover security shit.
Well, my thought is like, if you kind of go to, it's okay. It's kind of like if you go, let's say, to Japan, right? You're not gonna see, Indian. You're not gonna see African. You're gonna see Japanese guy, right? That's just it's a side of the area. Go to Africa. You're not gonna see Japanese. You're not gonna see Indian. You're gonna see an African. If you go to the redneck country and into the rural redneck area of Georgia, what do you think is gonna be there? The rednecks. The redneck rough guys, not the nerdy dudes. Like, it's like if I go somewhere and I see a really tall basketball looking, IT, brother, and he works IT, I'm gonna be like, Fee-fi-fo fun, where the fuck you come from? Why you ain't playing NBA? Because of the area. That's the common thing.
Here's the messed up thing. You say that, but literally right across town at another major corporation, all their IT guys look like stereotypical IT guys.
Mm-hmm.
You go down the road to that town we went through on the way to where we were going.
Okay.
Typical IT looking guys. So it's kind of weird, but we were all talking one day, and we were like, we all used to work at other companies.
Mm-hmm.
And other than us, they were all look like stereotypical IT guys. Like when I was doing IT at the college library, they all looked like the little thin IT guys, right?
What do people think I look like an IT guy?
We all laughed because we all gravitated damn near to the same location.
Okay.
So you go walk into our room and it's like, you almost expect to see a gym. It's like, the fuck? But it's in a lot of instances it is beneficial because working in a manufacturing facility as an IT guy, a lot of times you have to move heavy shit. Not just the computers, but if I go to the plant floor because the computer that pushes programs to the CNC is down, I may have to pick up some 3/4-inch plate steel covers that are over a channel in the floor to get to the cabling between the two to see what the fuck is going on.
Okay.
Typical IT guys ain't gonna be picking that shit up.
No, you're more in a factory IT guy, and I guess more people think IT guys are in a warehouse with nothing but computers, working on data centers.
They forget that yes, a lot of IT people work in offices and stuff like that, and I do. My job is half and half. Half of it is factory, half of it is office. And that comes into play, and sometimes the physicality of it, I would struggle to see some people doing what I do, not because they don't have the mind for the job, but more like they don't have the physicality to do it.
Yeah.
A lot of things would take a lot longer to get done because you would have to get somebody that's big enough to move certain things to allow you to get to it.
Yeah. So,
I mean, come on, man. One of our IT guys moved to the middle of fucking nowhere and is pretty much living off of resources he grows, fishes, and shit like that. I mean, he cuts wood for heat.
I saw
the only tech the man has is literally his satellite internet so that he can work from home.
so
everything else is fucking. If he ain't he grows most of it or catches most of it, hunts most of it. And what he doesn't get that way, he may go to town and buy a few things, but not a whole lot.
What does he spend most of his money on if he has all that already taken care of?
He has three different backup power ways. Okay, so he has solar panels.
Yeah.
Has a windmill.
Okay.
And a water mill. All of them create power for him.
And I'm pretty sure enough power to send back to the power plant if they needed it to, as a secondary reserve. For
he does his thing, and he heats his house with wood because his house is not that big. It's literally a living room, kitchen area, a bedroom area, and then he has a downstairs for where they park their vehicle.
See, I saw
and
this
right
guy
in the middle. Right in the middle of that living room, kitchen area / bedroom area is a wood burning stove.
Yeah, I saw a guy with a wood burning stove, and he shows how much wood he can get just inside of him, which is a lot, surprisingly. And he only needs is a chunk of egg cart to get it lit, and he has these metal heat conductive fans. No power to them, but the heat from the oven is so high it produces electricity that turns on the fans. So if he's burning it with just wood, he has his own power, he grows his own food. The guy's probably rolling on money right now. He's like, I don't know what to do with it. But because he's an IT guy. I know y'all make some pretty good, like not rich, but pretty good money to the average person. Yes, he must have a lot of money inside. Unless he just buys it over and over, buys stuff like that to keep upgrading his stuff. Eventually, he won't have need for anything other than what he wants to go out and get. Anyway, it's a side point. But yeah, I think IT people, because like I met you, I know Stealthy has some IT technology. I think IP or IT work is one of those things that at one time, I don't know about still, but I know at one time there was a high demand for IT people, and I don't know if that's still that boom.
It's still pretty high. The biggest issue is that sometimes it's difficult to go. It's even though you have the skills, sometimes it's difficult to find a job, even though there's a big job market, and that's because either they don't want to pay what it's worth, or they set their criteria so high of what they want you to have at start, that you can't meet that.
Because some imagine that it takes to experience. You need experience, but then one experience.
Yeah, I mean,
why gotta get high to get experience?
That I went to school for what I do, and I will tell you that school prepared me for none of the manufacturing IT side.
And that's ridiculous. Like, I almost would say
I was prepared for office stuff, regular break fixes on computers, and I was prepared for copiers, and I was prepared for some basic networking and programming and stuff like that. But no one ever prepared me as an IT person to crawl around in welding slag to trace down network cables that you can't tone normally because they're covered in fucking metal shavings that distort the fucking toner. Nobody prepared me for crawling inside of a giant CNC machine, because guess where the hard drive for the control module is?
Okay. Here's a question for companies then. Let's say you get rid of the middleman of colleges, right? But they need these people specialized in certain fields like IT. What would it take for a company to go and, hey, we want to hire people to have this set of skills that don't need this big elaborate degree from certain colleges that are overly specified or overly complex, and just going, okay, you pay us, we'll train you, and then when you're done with the training, we'll hire you.
So this is what the biggest issue is. Okay, that works in theory if you're going to work for that company exclusively. Let's say 10 years down the road, though, something happens and you have to go find a job somewhere else. Your only experience is at that first company.
Yeah.
That's where you were educated. That's where you know where things are. That's how you know things are there. You go to this other place, you have no fucking clue. Now you're starting over from scratch. You might have the basic skills, but you've got to learn where all this shit is again, and where it's at, and how to access it. So the idea for the educational environment is to give you the general basics that apply at all locations.
Okay.
You can't go out there and say, okay, this is going to be an IT manufacturing course for this company. Because if you do, you're narrowing the person's ability to work at certain locations.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Now, what I think should happen, in my opinion, is go get that general, that education that gives you the basics of this applies everywhere.
Yeah.
And then when you get hired, there should be a training period.
Some more
6
courses.
months, 7 months, a year training course where somebody trains you and you get another degree.
Yeah.
If they want to give it to you, okay? But that's at the company's peril because they're asking you to work for them on their specific equipment. And if every company offered that, it'd be a shitload easier because then, heaven forbid, I would go from this company to that company. All right. So instead of just starting from zero, I've got X amount of time that I've got to learn all this shit.
Yeah.
Okay. And instead of inundating me with work right out of the gate, I get 6 months of education on their system specifically before I start getting inundated with work. Because at that point, I become a more efficient resource for the company because I already know how everything is before they start assigning me.
Yeah, that kind of sounds like an internship, and I know some companies kind of do stuff like that, but then they want to do internships for for free. It's like that.
Here's the truth. Here's the truth of internship. They're not really fucking internships. They're not. They're bullshit. Internships are figments of your imagination unless you're a doctor, a lawyer, or something of that nature. Anything to do with manufacturing is a figment of your imagination if they call it an internship.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why. You're not getting educated shit. They hire you as an intern, but you know what really is going on? You're working the normal job until you prove that they can put you on the payroll fully.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with education.
And it's up to their discretion.
I'm not talking about what they call an internship. I'm talking about a true educational course developed by the company for the position that they require.
Yeah. So like I would say for you, yours is a factory IT guy. You know, you're not just purely computers, you're also hard drives and other mechanical.
It would be a hybrid. It would be a hybrid course for anybody that is working where I work.
Yeah. And then you have
because
maybe
you would have to learn office systems and manufacturing systems.
Yeah.
You have to learn them both.
And then you have
when I
maybe
started there, the reason I was able to pick up as fast as I was is because my uncle and my grandfather worked in manufacturing most of their lives, and both were head of their maintenance departments.
Okay.
So I had a good understanding of how manufacturing on a plant floor works. What it takes to make it happen, how it works, what kind of things can get in the way. So I didn't go in not knowing how manufacturing. I went in not knowing how the IT side of manufacturing worked, which made it a little easier because I had the other foundation of IT from school. I was able to kind of put the two together.
Yeah.
And I was able to rise above it. But there's a lot of people that don't have that knowledge base to fall back on.
Okay. But like I say, then we got, then I would say like server IT. That would be like a different degree. Server IT. I don't know if a graphic.
It is a different degree.
Okay. And then I don't know if there's like a IT guy for graphics, maybe. I don't know.
You got development. You got developmental IT personnel. You've got sales engineering IT personnel. You've got data IT personnel, which is in charge of like data warehouses, data storage, databases, all that.
I knew
stuff.
a guy actually did a data server.
the developers are going to be your coders. They're going to build your pages. They're going to build your one-off programs. They're going to build your lookups and they're going to make your ODBC connections and shit like that.
Yeah.
You've got infrastructure people, which is what I am, which is going to deal with all your hardware, anything that is on the network that does a computing task. So, meaning laptop, desktop,
CNC, router,
switch,
printer,
router, any fucking thing that a user can use to do a computing task, my responsibility.
Yeah.
Then you got your network guys, and their job is to make sure that the network is working. And this is where the infrastructure network kind of commingle. So what you have is with your network guys in most locations, you have a team of network engineers. They work out of a central office usually.
Mm.
Meaning they're not at all the satellite offices, which means someone like me on the infrastructure side, if something has to physically happen at the switch, has to go do that for them. Okay?
Yeah.
But everything on the programming side of the switch, whether the network is set up as mesh, star, ring, whatever, that's all programmed by them. All access lists are programmed by them. All firewalls are programmed by them. All stop gates, all security, all of that happens through them.
Okay. That's like
and
just security by itself, and you just answer my question.
Usually there is a communications engineer.
Yeah.
And what that person does is they're responsible for administrating all company communications, meaning they administrate the email system, they administrate the instant message system, the cell phone system that the company provides if it's one of those desktop the desktop phones.
Yeah.
At your desk. They administer all of that stuff. And that alone can be a lot. I did that for 3 years by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And the hell with that.
It's like,
no.
Yeah,
I'll stick to being what I am.
Yeah, this might come off as to some as political, but I promise you it's not. I just think if schools have such a high price range for certain things, they should have, just how much money you spend for going to school, they should have connections to factories, work facilities, anything that you're going into, and going, okay, here's your so many years in this, but at the last year, you're going there and you're having on-site training. That should be
for some major schools, they have that ability.
A lot more need to do
most schools don't get the funding that would allow that. That's every school's dream, is to be able to send somebody to actually do work at a school. The only problem at a plant, the only problem with it is will the employer actually do that? Case in point, I have seen companies take a engineering intern that's still in high school and or starting college.
Yeah.
The purpose of the program is for them to come over there for a year, work, learn what it's like to do this engineering in this environment. But they're not taught. They're treated just like any other worker. They come in, they sit down their first day. All right, here's your workload, get to work.
Yep.
Said.
And
some schools
they treat
do
them
and
like
technically
free
as
labor.
well.
Yeah, more need to do
instead of
more.
let's educate these people. And then they go and want to bitch when they're actually trying to hire somebody for a position, saying, we can't find anybody that's got the experience, expertise to do this job. Well, motherfucker, none of the interns you brought in have you been teaching, or else you might could have called one of them back.
Yeah, because I've had jobs before, and people say it's just a pun. Like, no, it's not a pun. It's an actual thing. Like, okay, you need experience. Like for one job, I was going to go and be a salesman, and they asked me, "Do you have experience as a salesman?" No. How do I get experience? Well, you need to work a job. Okay. How do I get the experience? Work the job. I'm trying to get the experience right now. Also,
Right.
My last job at the factory I was working at. Well, I wanted to be trained to do these certain things. They call them heavy machinery, but they're actually just the parts, the things that actually bend the metal to the shape that the box or whatever you want to make it. I wanted to learn how to do that, so I went for training. Guess what I didn't get? Training. How did I not get training? Because I never got to do it. I watched him, but I needed to do it. I needed to touch it to learn it, not just look at it and go, oh, that's cool. You bent the metal in that certain degree with that certain die and that certain print. But the moment I went to CNC machine, I got to do it. Boy, I was good at it. It was no problem for me. Typing in those degrees, those angles, those holes, switching. At the moment I got to touch it and do it, I was just fine. But I didn't get to learn anything because I didn't get to do it. They did it. And I just watched. Oh yeah, that's really learning. That's really getting the experience. And I'm sure the same thing for IT person. They're going to have to touch it. They're going to have to mess with it. And yes,
Right.
they might break it.
And that's
one time.
That's where I got lucky because, especially in my networking labs, because the guy that was teaching us,
Yeah.
he was all about the fuck around and find out. And he'd
Good.
walk up to you and he'd be like, "Here's a modem, here's a router, here's a fucking switch. This is what I need you to do.
Mm-hmm.
You're a 3-man team, make it happen." You fuck up and be like, "Hey, it ain't working," and we don't know why. He walked by and hit a couple strokes on your keyboard, and all your shit is gone, and you're starting over again. And he ain't telling you what you did wrong. No, you better figure that shit out.
But yeah, I can't tell you how many people, like, for instance, my brother. I'm not saying which one, but one of my brothers. He went to college. He got a degree. He's still having a hard time finding jobs. But you spent all that money. It's not like a nursing degree where you're almost guaranteed because there's so many people out there, or a doctor's degree, so many people out there. You know, what about the other fields out there? You go to college, you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, and as soon as you leave, you're like, where do I go? Who do I contact?
I mean, you can look at what happened to me. I went to school, did all that work for IT, got out of school, didn't have no job for IT.
Mm-hmm.
Worked at a fucking department store for almost a year before I finally found a job in IT.
That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I know how much. Like, I don't know how long it took you. Are you still? You're not still paying off your student loans, right? You're good, right?
No.
You still paying them off?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay, but I say, like, I'm pretty sure he's still paying his off, and it took me, what 2 years I went. It took me about like 3 or 4 years to pay my off, but that was only for like 2 years that I went there. I can only imagine somebody went there for 6 years or 10 years. And then sometimes don't have a job. It's just again, I think if you pay that much money, so school should have some way of like, okay, we're gonna teach you this thing, and we're gonna assist you to try to find a job, because like that's the goal. Is
most schools do try to help you get your first job when you exit.
Yeah. Fortunately, out of all three of me and my brothers, not one of them helped us, and we went to all different colleges.
I will tell you could be like me and have to go twice.
Woo, boy! Yeah, you switched your degree at one time, didn't you?
So I went and finished.
Yep, can't have some say something. So give me a second here. But yeah, I didn't finish college. I got 2 years, and I got upset because my English class was just bullshit.
So the first time I went, I finished with a 4.2 grade point average, and was an industrial electrician.
Okay.
I could wire everything. I could wire everything from your car to a manufacturing facility, like what I work at.
Yeah.
Could do it, and I still can. I can wire it all.
Okay.
Then I blew out my knee.
Yeah. I remember talking about that a long time ago.
The problem with that is when you blow out your knee, and you're just starting out doing that work, one of the things that they like to make the new guy do is pull wire. And it's hard to crawl through concrete tunnels underneath facilities pulling snakes of wire if you got a bad knee.
Yeah. But nowadays they have
And
technology that will help you do that.
My doctor pretty much told me point blank after my knee surgery that if I continue to do what I was doing, I will be the youngest knee replacement he's ever seen.
Oh, okay. That's fun.
So I chose that I didn't want to have my knee replaced at 20 something or 30 something.
Yeah.
And went back to school
Mm-hmm.
for information technology. And when I finished, I did a dual major. I got 2 associate degrees at one time. I did one in computer information technology and one in networking technology.
Quick thought for you. Have you seen these ads for these like online classes or like video games that they'll set a task to you and they'll like have you go through it and try to figure, and like it's kind of like designed in a video game format, but it's actual coding. Do you see that as a legitimate way to actually learning how to code?
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Can you just explain to me that you learn better by doing?
Yes, I do. Very much so. I don't know how many people that cannot learn by not doing.
There's a lot of people that learn better by doing.
Mm-hmm.
So they have started creating courses that not only do you read material, but your actual coursework requires you to actually do it. Meaning, let's say you're doing a course, and the course you're doing is all about video game design, right?
Okay.
So you may read in your book, chapter 1, this is how you make this character jump, right? And you have to code this way. This is the language we're using for this course. All that stuff, right? Reading that is one thing. Actually doing it's another. So now they've started creating scenarios where after you finish that, instead of question and answer, hey, to do this, what do you do? A, B, or C? Instead of doing that bullshit, they say, open this program. There's a pre-written little game in here, but it's missing the ability for the character to jump.
Yeah. Find it. Figure
out how to...
And then put it in. See, like, my thought is, like...
I will when I'm off.
Yeah, my thought is...
Yeah, but...
is that kind of thing seems like something that would be made for somebody that, say, you're starting something on yourself, right? You're starting your own little app. You're starting your own little program. This is not a program that I would imagine is going, hey, yeah, so I played this video game online to help me teach how to learn how to code, and I know how to code now. Can you hire me?
Well,
instead of like, here's this paper.
Surprised because here's what they're doing. They're doing 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
They're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You're getting your education and you're getting how many years of experience of actual coding because you're actually coding it?
Yeah.
Well...
I feel like you have to show them proof. Like, here's my code. Here's what I coded before. Hire me. Instead of having a degree.
Well,
honestly,
you don't necessarily... It depends on the relationship of the school with the industry.
Yeah.
Okay?
This is like a game or something like that. I forget they have online.
Some schools have great relationships with the industry. I can tell you right now, if anybody applied for any position where I work and it said Harvard or Yale on that shit, they wouldn't think twice about fucking hiring them.
Yeah.
And the reason being is... they know damn well if that degree says Harvard, Yale on it, they probably spent the last year of their education doing this job at the school.
Yeah.
Meaning they have that experience.
Yeah, that's a good point. I know there's some jobs you can actually get in some campuses and colleges. I know that is a thing. But at the same time, like, let's say your job, I don't know if your town has a local, like, college or like a junior college. Like,
we have 2 colleges.
What would stop your school from going, or not those colleges contacting your work and going, hey, we want to hire people, or not hire people, we want to teach people to do what they need to do at your job, how can we cross pollinate and have them not only
It's
have
not the school. It's not the school that reaches out to us. It's us that reaches out to the school. And believe it or not, in the past 3 or 4 years, that has become a big thing around here. The major companies are reaching out to the school saying, "Hey, this is what we do. This is how we do it. We will even give you a tour of the facility so you can see what you're dealing with, so that when you go back to your classroom, you're better informed on how to educate your children."
Yeah, because again, I've been to
They've
schools.
already started doing that. Man, dude, I bet you we had 10 or 12 fucking groups from colleges around here come through our facility this year alone. Just so they could and it's not even really for the students. I mean, the students get to come and see it.
Yeah.
But it's more for the educators to say, "Hey, I get this is what's in your book." And they need that. But you need to add in this. Like, if they have to get to this, it's not going to be where it is on a laptop. It's going to be here. Shit like that.
Well,
and then they can go back and translate that into class.
Yeah, well, the expression always goes with those who teach, those learn, but those who learn also teach. You have to learn something in order to be taught. And then that thing's taught is put into a book to teach others.
Right.
So
that being said, we do a lot of that now.
Yeah.
We didn't used to when I started, but we do now. We absolutely do.
My
Because
college,
we started realizing that we were having a hard time finding qualified candidates to do jobs. And it was all because the school system didn't know what they actually needed to teach them.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many classes in my college. I haven't used a lick of it since I left college. Not one bit. I didn't need it. I still will never need it. And there's never a reason for it, but you may spend so much money on it.
I give you case in point. So when I was going to school for technology, they offered jobs at the school. Doing the job, doing what it was that you're studying.
Yeah.
If you qualified for said program.
If you qualified, yeah.
I did. I did what I do now at the school library for over a year.
Yeah.
While taking these classes. And again, those 2 associate degrees come along with a couple of different diplomas, a couple of different certificates, all rolled up, okay? Needless to say, I slept very little for those years. But,
yeah,
I digress. The point I'm saying is it has come a lot further than what it was.
Yeah, like
the first time I went.
My college dates were 2007, 2008, so like a year after high school, which honestly, if anybody young ever watches this podcast, don't do the mistake. Wait a couple years before you go to college. You don't need to go right at the beginning. I know a lot of people want to shoehorn you right into it. Take a year or so, get yourself a good job, then go to college. You don't need to go out there. You hold on to your what's it when you get like a college grant or a college thing from your school? Like you get like a, what's that called? Like, let's say you were really good at football. Scholarship. Yeah. Can scholarships be held, or do you have to go exactly when you get out of high school?
No. Depends on what it is, but most times no.
It's like you don't need to go afterwards.
Most times it's in a time frame because that money's earmarked. Remember, the school is still paying taxes on that money.
Yeah. So
it's earmarked to be used. If it is not used, they lose it.
I wonder if there's a time frame.
And that is not the school's fault. That's not the school's fault. That is the stipulations placed on it by the government.
Yeah, that should be. Never mind. We're not getting to that. You gotta tell what I'm going with that. That's some bullshit.
Back to let's get to a happier topic. Here's a happier topic because I know you wanted to ask this question earlier. We got sidetracked. You want to know what happened with the kiddos?
Yes. What?
Okay. So my friend, we're gonna call him C. For now. C came by, picked up the big old bag of toys, and the last count was 140 toys.
All right.
which was 100 more than what was required.
Pass out
Don't
a
know
little
how
more.
that
You know,
happened.
one or two. One or two.
I have no idea how that happened. And he took them, and my understanding was it was imagine waking up on Christmas
Go ahead.
knowing you're not going to have any present.
Yeah, I just.
Okay, imagine that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then someone shows up at your door of your hotel room because you've been displaced, whether it be your house burnt down, or mom and daddy separated, or whatever the reason. Okay, that doesn't matter. You're just no longer in your home.
Yeah.
You're not getting any presents, and you open the door to see the Grinch that stole Christmas standing at your door with a bag full of presents. Because he's here to return the Christmas he stole from the Who's.
All right, yeah. From the Who's that they were.
That is what every one of those children woke up to.
So, quick question.
He went,
did he have the rubber mask? Or did he have, did he go to a hard mask? Like, what kind of mask did he wear? Because, I've been seeing this Orlando.
Soft. It wasn't a hard mask. It was soft mask.
Okay. I just wonder, I want to know what it takes to look like the Grinch. What they do for Orlando theme parks when they make those guys.
Me and Stealthy, we went the extra mile. Not only did we get all the presents from everybody collected together, but we went and bought the Grinch a Christmas bag to use.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, yeah.
So, he went around door to door, handing out gifts.
Wrapped?
No.
Not wrapped. Okay.
Not wrapped. He didn't wrap them because he wanted to be able to reach in the bag and see what he was grabbing.
Okay.
So that he could give appropriate gifts to appropriate age children and whatnot.
Understandable.
And he said it didn't get old.
It didn't get old?
Watching that face of complete despair as they opened the door, and then the light just beaming out of them when they realized, wait a minute, he's giving me stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good. Granted, none of us done it for we want to feel good. We wanted them to feel good. But a nice byproduct of it is all stop is it makes you feel good about yourself.
Yeah, it's not self-aggrandizing. That's where they say it, but it does still make you feel like you made some difference.
It's like I told him because he come by, picked him up, and was telling me thank you, and we talked for a few minutes in the front yard before he left, and while we were talking, he's like, "You have no idea how much this meant, not just to me, but to the organization that was trying to get this done." He's like, "We literally found out at the last minute this year. We didn't know how we were going to pull it off." He said, "I'm still not 100% sure how you did what you did." I said, "It wasn't just me."
Yeah.
I was like, I had 2 little elves on the inside of the house constructing their toys, and I had another little elf that lives across town, and he was constructing toys, and my lovely wife elf was shopping the best she could in town for toys.
Yeah.
And it all came together.
Yeah, it just worked like it's supposed to.
And so here's a little Christmas magic for you. My youngest printer, I stopped using it because it was having trouble leveling.
Yeah, that's the problem with that printer, and I know that because that was mine.
Okay, it had trouble leveling. However, from the moment this came up and I went down and leveled it,
yeah,
to the moment we hit what we were saying, okay, this is done, it did not waver, it did not stop, it functioned perfectly. Now, this is where the magic comes in. Guess what has not functioned properly since?
That sounds like my printer. So, quick story here. That printer he's talking about was my original Creality. I forget the branding. Creality CR10. I think it was a CR10. No bed leveling, automatic. It was all manual screw. I tried to update it where you didn't need to bed level it too much, but like with any of those bed levels, the heat of the plates would bow and bend because, well, it's heat. So it will distort. So you have to manually get every single spot. But even if you got the outside just perfectly level, the middle was still different. So you have to measure it from the middle ring and just say fuck the outside.
So after doing a little digging, I've come to the conclusion that if I spend about $100, he will be good to go for another few years.
There's some updates you can get.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna replace the heating bed.
Mm-hmm.
The plate that goes on the heating bed.
Yeah.
The magnetic bed sticker. Replace all of that.
Yeah.
That should true it up back to
original
true
factory
level.
Yeah.
Original factory. And he should get another 2 or 3 years out of it before it starts doing this shit in the middle again.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
over years.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You know your boy. You know he starts looking at shit and his mind starts turning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why is it doing this? Why is it doing it?
Yeah.
Well, it's doing that because when they designed that machine, there's a flaw. There is no support in the middle.
Zero.
No support. However, your boy has enough mechanical engineering
and some welding
under
sticks.
his belt that I look under there and I go, So if I add a support when I put the new plate on it, and I lock these down at the exact same height in the corners, guess what doesn't have to be done anymore?
Yeah. Yeah, and you may not notice, I tried to do that with my limited budget. I wasn't able to do it.
So here's the idea.
Yeah.
I am going to create 5 aluminum supports. All 5 of these aluminum supports are going to have holes in the middle of them and going to be covered in silicone on the outside.
Good choice. Okay.
Because silicone doesn't melt at high temp.
It takes a lot
and
to melt
if I
those.
wrap the aluminum in the silicone, it won't conduct heat to the rest of the printer.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put a middle support in and replace the springs with the other 4 supports, locking it in a single place.
Yeah.
For all eternity.
Yeah, because
those
springs get loose.
Continuously at this level.
Yeah.
Which means it should not bow from heat because it has enough support. It should never unlevel because it can't move. And as long as the leveling sensor is set correctly, it will auto level just like my new printer.
Yeah. That's something that's like people, like since the printers are like, especially beginning, people are so willingly trying to advance their printers that a lot of people is like, hey, we made something, even if it's a little old, there's a way to upgrade it. You just have to have a little tinker and ingenuity. And yeah, those printers are old. And yeah, you could probably buy new ones and forego all that trouble. But if you're gonna go for like, it's like buying a really old computer and upgrading it. You can buy cheap. But you're gonna want to upgrade it, so you can upgrade a little bit by little. And those printers are like that. You can definitely upgrade. Like I still have the other one in the office or living room. I could upgrade that thing. I just don't want to. And it's still available for anybody who wants to, but it's not here though. So that printer. I love that printer. I printed so many things out of that I still have to this very day. I loved it. Nowadays, there's just so many cool ones out there. You're gonna get the new fancy one. Oh, by the way, how close is a local Hobby Lobby to you?
45 minutes.
Okay. If you ever get desperate for some filaments, guess what Hobby Lobby sells now?
Really?
Filaments. Yeah.
I didn't see anyone. I was just in one today.
Yeah, they're in the crafting area. They were near. Do you know what aisle the filament were in, honey? She don't remember. But yeah, it was literally, we went there. I saw wood filaments, black and white filaments. I think they had a carbon filament. Yeah, they had like not like a ton of filament, but like they had a good selection. For like $20 and $15, depending on which one you were getting. It was based on color and versions or diversity. And I'm like, this is really nice. I would wish this was a thing when I had my filament printers, because I don't mind buying and wait for shipping, but sometimes I just want to just grab and just, like I said, I want to just go. Sometimes the local store was the nicer option, because I want to be able just to get it, I spend a little bit more and be able to have it today than wait a week away to get what I wanted. So yeah, you use some filaments, check them out. I don't know how good they are. So you might want to like check reviews. I don't know how like complicated filament nowadays is getting. I know they're getting pretty interesting.
I will tell you this. I learned something the other day that I never experienced before I got the multicolor printer. You have to make damn sure. So like on the older printers, it didn't give a fuck if it was PLA, PLA Silk,
Not
PLA
one bit.
Plus.
You turned that knob, it went.
It didn't give a shit. Okay. However, you also had a lot of bleed through sometimes. So let's say you were running white and you get halfway and it's time to swap to red. So you swap to red and then continue. Sometimes your red would bleed into that first layer of white, so you get a really kind of funky color.
Yeah.
On the new ones, you have to make sure you select the correct filament type. And this is why.
Okay.
It will literally regulate the temperature based on the filament type.
Which is great.
So, like your first filament, let's say I'm running basic PLA yellow.
Yeah.
And the temperature on it is 215 is what normally runs, okay? But the second filament it's going to use is PLA silk. But the temperature on it is 195.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't set it to silk and it thinks it's basic, it's going to run it at the higher temperature, which is going to create your bleed.
Yeah. I've had filaments
softer than it should be.
Yeah, I had filaments though that, like, remember I told you about the color gamut and heat. I've had filaments that had gone in like a black, right? And I'll switch from a black, which was like a higher temperature at the time, like 240 or whatnot, and I switched over to like a white or a green, and the stuff it would come out like super like glue. It just pour out the bottom of it, even if it's not pushing down.
Right.
It was such a high melt. It was just like, I'm like, nope, get that out. Nope, start printing. And then they don't start printing, but like it was melting so much quicker than the printer was like, don't care. We're still at the same speed. We're thinking we're fine. And then it'd be like a spider web of a print on top of each other because it didn't. It was moving too fast for it to actually stick to the print or whatnot.
So the reason I tell you this is I wasn't thinking about it when I loaded some filament and did a small print. And I noticed that I had some bleed through on some of my layers. I was like, fuck, what the fuck did that happen?
Yeah.
You know? So I go back messing with the model in the program and I realized there's a drop down beside where you set the colors.
Yeah.
And the drop down literally says PLA Basic, PLA Plus, PLA Speed, PLA Silk, PLA whatever. You set it to the type it is, and when it goes to change colors and it goes over and does its little purge, it literally will drop the temperature or raise the temperature to where it needs to be for that filament. Go out, do the layer, come back, purge, If it swaps to a different one, it'll regulate the temperature for that one and do it, and it helps so much with your bleed.
Yeah, I would imagine like the 3D printer that has the multiple heads that he goes over, swaps the heads out with it. That will also help with bleeding if each head already is at the temperature for which it needs to be at when it grabs it.
Oh, a little research on that because Stealthy wanted me to make damn sure I didn't want one of those instead of the other one that I told you I'm going to get.
Yeah.
And after doing some research, they are not there yet. I do not want one yet.
Yeah, they're still working. It's a brand new technology, so definitely a work in progress.
Because you got two issues. That the two primary issues that pop up is one, no one's made it big enough to actually do anything substantial.
Yeah. Okay.
That's one. And the other one is they're still having issues with it reliably grabbing and locking a head in when it swaps sometimes.
Yeah, I've heard they had some problems with grip too. Yeah, both those I heard. But yeah, I 3D printers are just it's gonna come to a point where people were like, you know what? I could buy my kid a toy, or I could buy myself a 3D printer, and anytime he wants a toy, I just print it for him.
Or hell, you could have kids like me that go, "No, Dad, I don't need you to print shit. I'll just save my money up, buy it, and print my own shit."
Yeah, that is.
I mean,
so say it this day, I would have loved it if I had a printer, modern day, like nowadays printer, not the old ones, but like modern day printer, multicolor. As a kid,
my 14-year-old did this. My 14-year-old.
Mm-hmm. Like that is so cool. Like I would paint the eyes. I would wrap that around something. It would be a bit of an art piece, but like
I sit here sometimes. I was working from home with this bitch hanging around my neck like a boa constrictor.
Oh, my back's itchy.
It's some really cool shit, and stay tuned, buddy, because I found a model that does this.
Yeah,
but it's Shinron.
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, but yeah, sorry if this is late, but technically we went over 30 minutes, so that's our sorry for being so day later. I hope you had a good time. I hope I'll see you sometime soon. I've got books upon books to do. I just need I'm not gonna go there. Anyways, but always have a good day, have a good night, have a good life. Much love, y'all.
Bye.
Go subscribe to my new channel.
Emotional damage.
Who is that? Wait. Who is that? My mouse is asleep. Who is that? I can't see. That was Stealthy, I think. I don't know.